Hello. And can I be one of the first to congratulate you on your purchase of your Celica GT4, which I'm quite certain is going to add a new dimension to your driving pleasure. I'd also like to welcome you to a very select group of people indeed, because there won't be too many of you GT4 owners around. In case you didn't know, let me just tell you that there will be only 450 of these state-of-the-art high-performance cars imported into the UK this year. So it really is a very exclusive machine, and it will be something of an occasion when you spot another one on the road. What I'm going to do in this short program is to just run through some of your new car's important features to ensure that you can achieve the absolute maximum of performance and satisfaction from it. I don't know if you've owned a Toyota before, but you'll certainly at least be aware of the Celica GT, because it's been widely acclaimed as one of the best 2-litre coupes on the market. In fact, last year, it was selected as the Coupe of the Year by What Car magazine, and interestingly enough, Toyota also came second with the MR2 and third with the Supra, so it was a clean sweep of the top 3 places. Your GT4 has been developed from that very successful model, but the features that have been incorporated, particularly, of course, the turbo and the full-time 4-wheel drive, and the benefits they give you in terms of performance and handling, make it a very different proposition altogether. Outwardly, the GT4 deliberately remains a very refined sports car. It's intentionally been designed to enhance the performance rather than simply be eye-catching. So it's got wide tires, unique alloy wheels, a deep front air dam and rear spoiler, and aerodynamic side skirts, all of which have an important functional purpose, as well as contributing to the car's very distinctive styling. Actually, there are some equally distinctive features of the interior of the GT4 which you'll be able to appreciate from the driver's seat. Toyota have always been very conscious that a sports car, like the Celica, should also be spacious and comfortable, so no matter how tall you are, you should have plenty of head and leg room. The power steering's also adjustable, both telescopically and for tilt, so the driving position is very flexible indeed. To make sure you're really sitting comfortably, your driver's seat adjusts in 8 different ways to suit the shape of your body. The lateral and lumbar supports are electronically controlled, and they're designed so that you're held firmly in your seat when you're taking advantage of the car's exhilarating performance. As I'm sure you know, air conditioning is fitted as standard on your GT4, but if you prefer the real thing, you not only have an electric slide tilt sunroof to help you enjoy the sports car flavor of your driving, but it's also been given an extra large opening to give you even more fresh air. That extra chunky leather steering wheel design is exclusive to the GT4, and so is the new moquette seat material. They're all little touches that help set your GT4 apart from other cars. But obviously, it's not so much the way that it looks that sets this car apart from the others, it's the performance, and just as important, the fact that it can handle the performance. At the heart of that, of course, is the engine. So let me tell you a bit about that. The GT4 uses the latest 3S GTE Toyota engine, which delivers 185 brake horsepower at 6,000 revs. This gives a top speed of 138 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 time of 7.7 seconds. These, at least, are the factory figures, but as you know, these always tend to be on the conservative side, if anything. The engine uses the same highly sophisticated multi-valve technology that's been proven on the Celica GT, and that means it has 4 valves per cylinder, double overhead camshaft, and electronic fuel injection. On top of that, however, the block and the camshaft have been strengthened to cope with that extra power of the turbo, and a new lubrication system's been incorporated that sends a jet of oil into the underside of the pistons to keep them cool, because with the extra performance, they'll be getting fairly hot. Toyota, of course, are very much the world leaders in multi-valve engine technology. They make more multi-valve engines than any other manufacturer, so you've got the benefit of all their know-how and experience. However, what delivers the impressive level of performance is the combination of this engine unit with a sophisticated progressive turbocharger. It's the progressive nature of the turbocharger that you'll particularly notice. The power comes in nice and smoothly, and you don't get the problem you do with some turbos of turbo lag, when nothing happens and then suddenly there's a big surge of power, which can obviously be pretty hazardous in a tricky situation. So, it's a very advanced design of turbo with a water-cooled intercooler, which has its own electric water pump and radiator. This cools the air in the turbo intake to give it a higher density, and that helps to produce better power and torque figures. Now, while you're enjoying all this power at your feet and fingertips, you can also enjoy the feeling of knowing you're doing your bit to protect the environment and keep the atmosphere free of pollution. That's because the GT4 is fitted with a catalytic converter, which decontaminates the exhaust gases to a point where the carbon monoxide level is almost impossible to measure. In fact, the GT4 is the first car to be imported into the UK that's fitted with a catalytic converter, so it's really pioneering the clean exhaust movement. One very important factor about the converter, of course, is that it does mean that the GT4 can only run on unleaded fuel, and that's why the aperture in your petrol filler cap is smaller than usual, so the regular pump nozzles won't fit into it, and you won't fill up with the wrong fuel by mistake. Toyota have supplied you with the directory of forecourts that already stock unleaded fuel, but to be honest, it's probably already out of date, because there are new ones being added to the list week by week. Nevertheless, just in case you should find yourself stuck in an out-of-the-way place and can't find an unleaded pump, there's a 5-litre can in the boot of the GT4, and it's probably a good idea to keep it filled up for emergencies like that. Now, let's talk about the four-wheel drive for a moment. Obviously, with so much power at your disposal, you need a drive system that makes the most of it by using the gripping ability of all 4 tyres rather than just 2. This gives the added advantage that with the power evenly spread throughout the chassis, the handling, cornering and general stability of the car will be excellent. The GT4 uses a system of four-wheel drive that's permanently in operation, and its main feature is the center differential with a viscous coupling. This controls the differential to cope with all the different road conditions and surfaces you might come across. The four-wheel drive gives you 2 benefits. First, it ensures better handling in normal driving conditions, and secondly, it enables the car to cope better with very difficult conditions like snow, ice, mud, etc. Properly used, the four-wheel drive clearly makes the GT4 a safer car to drive, and it's reassuring to know that other safety features have received special attention. You can be confident that you have, at your disposal, one of the most advanced electronic ABS braking systems available to match the car's performance. This system incorporates ventilated discs on the front, solid discs on the back, and an increased brake pad area. One important point is that with the viscous coupling on the four-wheel drive, the ABS braking system is able to function at maximum efficiency at all times. So you can feel very safe in your GT4, especially so, in fact, because it's also got a strengthened floor pan and heavy-duty suspension units have been fitted. I'm sure that as you get used to the GT4, your own experience will confirm that Toyota have created a car that will enable you to get the most out of your driving. If I can just come back to the comfort and convenience factors before I finish, you will see that nothing's been sacrificed in these areas to achieve the performance. Everything possible has been done to create the refinement that, with its performance and handling, give the GT4 its unique style. And you might be interested to know that this very exclusive motorcar is going to be gracing Europe's rally circuits in 1988 as part of the Toyota team. In mentioning that, maybe it's appropriate to sound just a small note of caution, particularly with reference to the four-wheel drive. Although it does make road holding and handling better and safer, don't forget that this is still only a car, with limitations that you'll need to find out from careful experience. Even the features you've got on the GT4 don't make you invulnerable, as the top rally drivers prove fairly regularly. So do take some time to get used to the performance and handling before you push it too hard. Then you'll be able to enjoy not only the sensation of driving one of the most exclusive cars on Britain's roads, you will also enjoy the pleasure of handling a very advanced driving machine that at the peak of its performance will bring a new meaning to the phrase pure exhilaration.